Welcome to the Dirt Time channel. I'm Alan Halcon.
And I'm Christopher Nierga.
And unfortunately, Dude is not here today.
Oh, I thought he was right here. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's off.
Dude. Sorry,
I don't
John.
know. Where's he at? I mean, he left Tennessee
yesterday. Yeah.
I have no idea where he's at.
So he's on the road.
Yeah.
He's in Arizona.
He's doing something.
Maybe he's visiting Cody.
Might
be, yeah.
Might be.
Anyway,
well, he did say he was going to try to stop by and talk to a couple friends out there, and
okay,
we'll see what happens.
Maybe he's stuck in a bar somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah, knowing as much as Dude drinks, I wouldn't doubt it.
Really?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, good. glad you said that.
Yeah. Anyway, Christopher, I'm glad we're out here in the mountains today. At least the foothills of where we live here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And
This is very typical Southern California chaparral, and so we're going to look at some of the common things that you see in the foothills of Southern California, but they're very common in the western states. Some of them might be in the eastern United States for other people who are watching this, but this is going to be really interesting.
Cool. Well, let's get started.
All right. Ready?
All right. So cool, Christopher. Here we have some black sage.
Black sage. You can smell it. It's very aromatic, right? And a little bit sticky.
Wow.
So anybody who uses sage in cooking can take one of these leaves and put it in the stew pot, or you could put it in a cup of water and make a tea from it, like if you're out camping and you don't have coffee or other things.
Now, what kind of flavor does it give? I mean, I've never used this in cooking myself. I know you can, but I just never have.
I don't use it in cooking because I don't usually use sage for cooking, but as a tea it's delicious. It's kind of a strong minty flavor. And then also the white sage, even more so than this black sage, the stickiness makes it good as a styptic, where you press it onto a wound to stop bleeding. And also, notice there have been bees around here. The bees come into the chaparral. They make excellent honey, the sage honey. You know, it's
excellent,
beautiful honey, and then it's a good, rich flavor. So it's mostly a spice. It's not a cooking food. Now let's go look at one of the sage brushes also.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, check this out, Christopher. Sagebrush or cowboy cologne, man. This stuff smells awesome.
They do. I watched a guy rub this on his skin once because he said he was really stinky. They call it cowboy cologne because the cowboys riding through the chaparral would actually smell like this and the other sage.
This stuff, I gotta tell you, man. I keep a sprig of this. Now, would it be a sprig? No, it wouldn't, would it?
Why not?
Why not? All right,
Yeah.
Why not? Anyway, I like keeping this in my truck.
Oh yeah, instead of the silly little Christmas tree.
Oh my God, the Christmas tree.
I think Dude puts this and or white sage to deodorize the car, but it's very soft. You can use it as a styptic also, but it's not a true sage. So remember the mugwort? You can't ever have enough mugwort. This is a close relative of mugwort. It's Artemisia californica. The mugwort is an Artemisia also. But if you use sage in your cooking, you could put this in your soup, in your stew, in your spaghetti, whatever.
You know, one thing, when we showed the mugwort the last time, we talked about what it is, but also they use it in Chinese acupuncture.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that, didn't we?
And estafiate as well.
Estafiate in Spanish and Espanol.
And Espanol.
And in Chinese, it's called moxa, in Chinese acupuncture, like moxibustion.
Oh, that's right. I think Dude did talk about that.
I burned a little bit of it.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Where the heck is Dude? See, if Dude was here...
Dude!
Yeah,
oh, yeah, he might be there.
Okay.
I don't know, Christopher. What is it? I'm like super hyper paranoid about rattlesnakes stepping in all this brush.
This is where rattlesnakes would hide. So it's good that we've been checking things out and walking slowly. But guy.
And you did have to bring me to a patch here and plot me right in the middle of a patch.
Well, I know how much you like rattlesnakes.
Yeah. So. Well, I almost stepped on that huge one. You know. But what do we have? We have some buckwheat here.
Okay, it's buckwheat. Most people, when they see these leaves, they think rosemary. Okay, the leaf looks like rosemary, but no fragrance.
Yes, obviously.
Okay? So you have the little linear green leaf, white on the bottom, and the flowers are what's very stereotypical about the rosemary. Little white balls. Okay.
You mean buckwheat?
What did I just say?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Okay. Okay. I'm glad that you're here.
Somebody has to correct you,
You haven't had enough Pepsi, and I have not had enough coffee. So this is...
See, you already forget. It's Diet Coke.
Okay, I thought you drank Diet Pepsi.
No.
Okay, whatever.
That's like last resort stuff.
Can we continue?
That's like doomsday is here or something.
Okay, right. Is that right? Really? It's that bad?
I just don't like it. Sorry, all you Pepsi fans.
Okay, well, we're not here about Pepsi, but California wild buckwheat, it's very common in the chaparral. It's probably one of the most common chaparral plants throughout the West, okay? Very characteristic by the rosemary-like flowers, the white little balls they look like, and see how they turn brown?
Yeah, they turn brown.
This is springtime. They're white right now. But if you get them in this stage and you just rub them between your hand, you get this brown powder. And you've been on our classes where we mix it 50-50 with wheat. We make biscuits, pancakes, bread, and everybody likes it better than if it was just a plain pancake. So it's actually mostly chaff, maybe 20% seed, but we put the whole thing in the mix like the Native Americans did in the old days.
You know, Christopher, we keep using the word chaparral. Can you explain what chaparral is for those that do not know?
Okay, well, chaparral, it does refer to a plant. There is a plant called chaparral which grows not in the chaparral but in the high desert. But normally when I use the word, it's the upper Sonoran region. It's a biological region, generally from 2,500 to 3,500 feet, kind of above the desert. It's south-facing hillsides. And I'm not actually sure if the biologists still use that term because they're always changing their terminology. But when I was learning botany and biology, they called this region of Southern California, roughly, we're probably at 1,500 feet here, but the upper Sonora region up to 3,000 feet maybe. Dry hillsides characterized by poison oak, laurel sumac, buckwheat, black sage, white sage, those sorts of plants.
So you could have summarized everything by saying hillsides covered with laurel sumac, poison oak, and yada yada. Instead, you have to go into this whole dissertation.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Christopher, one of the most common plants we have out in the desert.
Well, it's in the desert, and actually they're all across North America.
Yeah.
But it's typical desert type plant. See what I'm doing, Ellen?
Yeah.
The little brown is the glaucids, the fine.
Are you going to tell everyone what this is?
Oh, prickly pear cactus. I thought everybody knew that.
Or nopales, nopalitos.
Yeah, nopales in Espanol, and then prickly pear cactus in English. And we're taking
oh man, and you know what? These are delicious with like some fried eggs.
Fried eggs, potato. I think Dude cooks his with tofu and potatoes.
Well, that would explain certain things about Dude.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, Dude. We think you like it, but it tastes like a slightly sour green pepper when you eat it raw.
Now, why don't you, you use the word glaucids. Why don't you explain what the glaucids are? It's different from the spines and blah blah.
But botanically, this whole thing is the leaf is actually considered the spine.
Right.
I heard that explanation once. And this part at the base of the spine is the glaucid. They're fine hair-like things. It's where the plant absorbs water when it actually rains. This is pretty much a watertight skin. And the spine is what you see. That's
right,
what you
correct.
usually...
So the glaucid is the base where the little hairs grow out of.
Correct.
And then you have the spine growing typically in the center of the base.
Correct, yeah. And you want to get all of them off.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the spines, but the glaucids are the things that really get you because they're so tiny. I knew a guy that he saw a spineless cactus, but it had the glaucids, so he ate it. So he had the little glaucids on his lips and his mouth.
Christopher,
terrible.
you've had some bizarre experiences with some of your students over the years. That one that tried to eat the young poison oak because he thought he could build some immunity to the plant.
Wait a minute, I've done that too.
No, yeah, except he had a very adverse reaction.
Oh, yeah, that guy. I hope he's not watching this because he might think I'm insulting him, but he said that he had to become immune to poison oak because he was going to walk across the country eating wild food, and therefore he had to be immune to poison oak. It makes perfect sense to me. He had me put some in his mouth because he didn't want to touch it, and the next day he said, "Christopher, I can't even open my eyes." Okay, and I said, "Well, okay, did I ask you to eat it? No, but I never saw the guy.
But you damn near assisted in a suicide. That's illegal in California, don't you know?
Is that what I did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't be around this guy.
Moving right along. Okay, this guy now, you can cook this like Alan was saying with eggs. You can gently saute it.
Now you can go to some of these supermarkets. They already have this pre-cut and whatnot. That's a car behind us, by the way. That's what that sound was.
This is a little mountain road here.
So these are pre-cut. They already sell them in a jar.
Right. So it's good sauteed. When you cook it like a soup, the water gets very slimy. So usually you might change the water and then recook it. It's good, isn't it?
No, it's delicious. Now there's also something that grows on these cactuses.
I want to point out, by the way, before I get to that, it's also very good for diabetes.
Oh, good point.
And the worst thing that happens if you're eating this for diabetes and it doesn't work for you, you're just eating cactus. You're not eating a drug. You're not taking a drug with some side effects. Now, check this out. The white part. This is where we tore it off. The white part, how are we going to see it? Like so?
Yeah.
This is a little beetle, ouch, that grows on the cactus, and it's called a cochineal beetle. It's where we get a certain dye from. How's that look?
Oh, that looks awesome.
Let me do the other side. Okay.
Putting on the war paint?
Yeah.
Now, they still use this dye for some fabrics and whatnot.
It's a safe food coloring. Now, somehow this was in the news having to do with something with Starbucks coffee. I don't remember the details, but people said, "Oh, you mean you're getting bugs in your coffee. This is actually a very safe food dye. It's not like red dye number 3 that's carcinogenic. So children love this. And when
they love what?
They love
Eating
getting
it?
no,
Oh, the
no,
paint.
not, they love getting painted up.
Okay.
I have day camp and they paint the children's faces, they love it. Compared to when I used to paint their faces with the black walnut husks, which takes about 2 weeks to wash off.
Yeah.
So that's it for today.
Yeah. Thanks for watching DirtTime.com. I'm Alan Halcon, Christopher Nerigis. We'll see you next time.